Do Crohn's disease symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help. At 12 weeks, rapid symptom remission was achieved in most patients taking Tremfya, and some experienced visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Explore what's possible and ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard. We are live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino for the next 3 hours following a very hectic weekend in the sports world and sports betting. Today, I think, has been actually nuttier than what we had over the last couple of days. And coming up today on the program, Nick Bogdanovich in 15 minutes. We'll get into college basketball with him. He'll be on for 2 full segments talking about tonight's card and also some of these conference tournament odds. Lou Finocchiaro will recap an insane beat that took place in the UFC over the weekend, NHL Best Bets and Pat 40 on the college basketball tournament. So we'll spread it out, get into the college hoops coming up quite a bit over the next 3 hours, but we will begin day one today, Pauly, of free agency in the National Football League. And I would say similarly to like every other recent day one of free agency, it has lived up to the hype with a ton of action, a ton of signings, big names moving, and still a couple of big names that are out there as well. And about an hour ago, Sam Darnold signed with Seattle. So they're going to be moving on. Obviously, that trade broke, I think, 10 seconds after we were done with the show on Friday.
Bad beat, yes. That
Geno was traded to the Raiders, 35 years old. So now to replace him, Darnold goes there to be their quarterback. It's 3 years, $110 million. He is 7 years younger than Geno Smith. They're saving $10 million per year, and now the team has 5 picks in the top 3 rounds. But, I mean, there's no Metcalf.
I don't know what they're doing. Same offer was extended to Geno. He said no. And then I don't think, he's mercurial. I wouldn't say he's that much of a diva, but they had enough of DK, and he goes to Pittsburgh. And now you give all this money to Sam. Can you protect him? And then now who's you throwing the ball to other than JSN?
It's going to be JSN. He's going to have a monster year this year. And I think with Kubiak as the new OC,
right?
They're going. Here's what they're going to do. This team, I believe, will completely commit to the offensive line with whatever they might be able to get in free agency, but certainly in the draft. And they're going to have Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet as their running backs. And this is going to turn into a heavy run offense because now that there's no more Lockett, there's no more Metcalf.
Yeah.
JSN, I think it can be awesome in this league, but they have a hell of a duo at running back, and that's what I foresee happening with that offense next year.
DK and Grubb didn't mesh. Grubb leaves. You mentioned Kubiak, the new OC. I just can't believe you're not blowing it up, but you're making so many changes when you were one play away the last 2 years from making the playoffs.
There must have been something there where Geno didn't want to come back at all, I guess. And then also, there's absolutely no feasible chance that you're going to go to war with Sam Howell.
Absolutely right.
He was the starting quarterback until today.
This is a tough sell, though, because you were this close to making the playoffs the last 2 years, and you give Sam all that money considering how the last 2 games ended. Horrific against Detroit. And horrific against in the playoff loss. So it goes back to, can Kubiak coach him up and perform an O'Connell miracle?
Yeah, so I don't hate it. I mean, honestly, they had to do something at quarterback. And I think now with the cap going up even yet again, I think this is just funny money that we can't really wrap our head. I mean, would you rather have this guy for 3 years, $110 million, or pay Justin Fields $20 million a year?
Well, just give me Sam. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's like,
right.
okay.
Well, you're right. You said it before the show. The Jets couldn't sign Darnold. You can't run that back, but my God, they go with Justin Fields now. And Justin Fields is going to be the Jets starting quarterback.
He's going to, yeah.
My God.
He'll be that. So he'll be a stopgap until, I can't imagine they're going to go quarterback in the draft at number 7. They lost an offensive lineman today. They're going to have to address the offensive line probably in the draft. Because otherwise, and this dude obviously has wheels, he's going to be running for his life behind there.
I would imagine Wilson has out. I don't know why he would stick around.
I would think so. If he's smart, he probably would.
I thought all these teams that were strapped for cash. And what happened? Rams don't have money. Stanley on the move. Patriots. Stanley stays. Right. All these guys stayed put. I thought everyone had this money to spend. And also the teams couldn't keep these guys, but the exact opposite happened here. What's transpired over the last couple of days. What do you think of the Raiders' move?
Of re-signing Max Crosby and then getting Geno Smith?
Yes.
I don't hate it, again.
That's not a bad option.
No, I'd say that, for everybody who was out there that the Raiders could have possibly landed, I'd say Geno Smith was about as good as it gets, right? I'd say that, the whole thing with him compared to Darnold, compared to Aaron Rodgers, I have no problem with Geno Smith going there at all. To reunite now with Pete Carroll, and could they go now wide receiver with number 6 overall? Now, here's the thing. They do not have to go, people are going to say they're going to go Shedeur Sanders, number 6 overall. Why? Why do they have to go quarterback now? Geno played really good football last year, and I'll point this out. 14 starts with Seattle in a dome, 30 touchdowns, 5 INTs, a rating of 110.8, 36 starts outdoors, 25 at home, 43 touchdowns, 31 INTs, an 89.7 rating. So his play with Seattle when they were in a dome, he was fantastic. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And now he'll be playing, more than half of his games on an annual basis here in a dome. So I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
Now, are they going to be better than a 4th place finisher in the AFC West?
Tough part. You're in a tough division. No doubt. I thought maybe someone would take a crack at Stidham. He's just going to back up Knicks again. And you had that news, and now the other news is Rodgers is expected to go to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
How about that now?
Now, does that do anything for you at all?
I like it based on what the options were, yes. I'd rather... You couldn't have Metcalf Pickens on the same team with Fields as your quarterback. Or they'd lose their minds, be an insane asylum. Not to mention Art calling the plays. Be a disaster.
I would say behind closed doors, Rodgers might be worse.
Oh,
now you have to deal with Rodgers and the circus that comes with him.
Yeah.
And now if they keep...
Are you surprised that you got to be... Of all organizations to do it.
Well, if we get news today that Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh... Yeah, but again, this is musical chairs. Who are they going to go with? Who's their guy?
Aaron Rodgers.
No, but if they don't get him...
I know, you're running out. You have no options.
Russ is not going back.
Jameis Winston or something. I know.
And then where does Wilson
Tannehill,
go?
if you get him out of retirement, you don't have much to go with. I hear you.
I honestly...
Jacoby Brissett, please.
On the field, I'm okay, I think, with Rodgers, Pickens, Metcalf, the combo there.
Yes, run the ball, protect them, good defense,
Right, and he's played his entire life outdoors, so in theory, that should be bet. However, the problem is that division is damn tough.
Right.
So I don't know
but
if they're better than
But they find ways to win games and play solid defense, and
I don't think
they got weapons. I think that's a good move.
Nick, nobody's going to fall off the couch if they sign Aaron Rodgers and they win 10 games in their playoff team next year.
That's right.
But I don't want to bet them.
Right. They could be better than Cincinnati. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Cincinnati's a mess.
No,
and again,
they could be.
That's a great job by the Bills. Let's do this with Josh Allen. This goes up every year. God knows what it's going to be in a couple years.
Right.
Cincinnati and Dallas continue to wait, and they screw around, and it costs them dearly.
Isn't that
and
funny?
a lot of money.
Yep.
So the Bills did the right thing here, and it's a great job by Allen to help get talent and improve the roster. They signed Palmer today, and that's a great move by Allen. And other organizations like Dallas and Cincinnati wait. They screw around, and it costs them dearly. And then you can't build around the talent that you have, and then you're stuck, especially Dallas. Because Parsons is salivating now, too.
Sure.
After what happened, you called that after the Raiders gave all that money to Crosby, although I will give the Browns an F. That was stupid. You had an out. Garrett gave you an out. I demand a trade. Get me out of here. And they come back and they say, okay, we'll make you the highest paid non-quarterback in history. You needed to reload, redo everything, get picks for him, take a quarterback at 2, and blow this thing up because you're stuck with the worst contract in sports.
Well, now what do they do, by the way, at number 2? If Abdul Carter doesn't go number 1 overall, did they just say, screw it, we're going to team him up with Myles Garrett, and we're going to have like the best defensive line in football for the next 5 years, without question, and we're going to have an unstoppable force there on those 2 guys rushing around the edge? Right? Because I saw Matt Miller today at ESPN.com. He gave a grand total of 0 quarterbacks a true first-round grade.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't think, he says they're going to get drafted, but he goes, they're not first-round worthy quarterbacks coming out of college, watching the tape from like last year. I don't really necessarily disagree with that, to be honest. So if Carter doesn't go number 1 overall, and he's sitting there at number 2, that's a pretty tempting player to take if you're the Cleveland Browns, in my opinion.
I would take Ward. You got to move on from Watson, and you got to develop a quarterback and see what you can do and take this to the next level. And I know 2 years ago was an ultimate fluke, but then again, you gave this guy all this money, and then 2 years ago, they couldn't stop a nosebleed in road games.
Right.
So you have this great defensive player, yet why is your defense so bad in road games and how bad it was down the stretch? Your big move right, though, in your future ticket on the Rams looks even better. I mean, to get Adams, and now you have Puka, Adams, you gave to. I thought they didn't have any money. And then they got Atwell. They brought him back and gave him a ton of cash. Kupp's going to move on. 2 good tight ends. I mean, again, this team had Philly on the ropes.
Yeah.
And now you get Adams. That's a great move by the Rams.
Yeah.
And it's laughable that you see the Niners at 14, 12-1, and then the Rams were like 30-1. Now they're down to 20-22.
Yeah, they were, before the signing here at Circa, they actually bumped him up to 33-1. And they had him at plus 1650 to win the NFC.
Yeah.
And I had it dialed up in Q. I didn't. And then Adams goes there, and they since moved that number, obviously. So that's no good for me. I don't understand this price. I haven't bet it yet because I don't know if I want to tie up a division price, but they're plus 265 to win the NFC West. What?
Yeah, right.
The Niners are even money?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's
right.
outrageous.
Yeah, concur.
I would flip it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't completely flip it, but I think the Rams should be the short shot to win that division. Also, Josh Sweat goes to the Cardinals.
Yeah, Philly's losing people.
So, yeah, they lost him. They lost Milton Williams to Carolina. Not great so far today for Philadelphia.
And the Bears have done a nice job.
Awesome with the offensive line.
That's right. Yep. All right, we want to help you out. Free VSiN Pro access through Selection Sunday. It's a big week here. 2 more tickets punched tonight. 4 tomorrow. 4 teams are already dancing. 3 for the first time ever. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the 24/7 video. Don't miss out. Free VSiN Pro preview. No cost, no commitment. Sign up now. Free access through March 16th. VSiN.com/championship week. Every conference preview's up there. All the picks. Hoops Peterson. Don't forget Mr. Cohen with the NBA as well. And Jonathan Davis, who did an excellent job. And he got Wes with golf, too. VSiN.com.
Heavy college basketball next. Sports Gambling Hall of Famer, longtime Las Vegas oddsmaker Nick Bogdanovich on the program. West Coast Conference is underway. St. Mary's and Gonzaga are laying a combined 34 points.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. It is championship week. We're live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Here we go. We'll hit the games tonight and conference tournament odds as well. Longtime Vegas odds maker, Sports Gambling Hall of Famer Nick Bogdanovich here at Circa Sports joins the program now. How was the weekend?
Busy.
I bet.
That I can tell you. Little chalky Saturday afternoon, too. It was, I don't know if you guys covered that in any of your earlier segments, but all from 3 o'clock on, every big favorite just rolled home like it was no problem. So a lot of people should have change in their pocket, ready for this week to fire.
Well said. I had North Carolina. Did you?
Woo! Yeah, I took 11 with the Tar Heels.
Oh, ridiculous.
I was just watching the replay before I came over here. They were up 7 with like 15 to go, getting 11 at home in a absolute must-win situation with a huge war. The place is going crazy. LT's in the house. How can you blow that?
Yep.
Boom, like it was nothing. Duke just covers like every game.
It's wild, isn't it? They're like UConn from the last 2 years.
Exactly right. And I just don't see it. I mean, but something magical about this team, I guess. I don't see the depth, and I don't see it, but yet they just do it.
Where do you have them right now in your power ratings then?
I got them a point higher than Auburn.
Oh, so you do. Your power ratings bear out that they are the best team in the country.
I'm forced to, but a power rating is one thing. The eye test is another. So, so say Florida was to play Duke in the finals, and it was pick'em, and I got like my power rating has Duke 2, I'm still probably going to play Florida just because in my mind I see those teams play each other, and I just don't see how Florida doesn't beat them. So, but that's part of the puzzle.
Do you have Florida behind Duke, Auburn, and then they're number 3 overall?
I got Auburn and Florida the same.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
I
got them.
Okay.
I got them the same.
This Gators team, man, they blow me away. I took them in this blackjack tournament this weekend, 2nd overall.
Yeah, I heard about the blackjack tournament. Great thing Derek does for good customers, and that's exciting stuff. People get together and get a chance to get involved with March Madness in a big way.
Look at this order now. It's on the screen. And for those in the radio audience, Kelvin Tran finished 1st overall. He had an unbelievable run at blackjack, also a good player. Got a $20,000 future bet, took Duke number 1 at plus 315.
Yeah, no, he's a sharp better. He's a hell of a customer. And, hey, he's got Duke. I mean, how could you – I guess you have to – at that point, you have to take Duke. Just the SEC guys are wearing each other out, playing each other, beating each other up. You almost want Florida to go out early in the tournament so they don't, have to play a long stretch of brutal games. Just have them lose a close game, stay fresh and healthy and ready to go. But I guess you had to take Duke. I mean, how's this? College to win the ACC, Duke's minus 380 to win the ACC. I mean, is that even possible?
No,
I mean, in this day and age, I mean, the ACC has 18 teams. I mean, they're minus 360 to win the tournament.
Probably the most incredible tweet I've seen in 30-some years watching sports, 40 years. They never had a game this year where ranked teams played one another. Hasn't happened since like the late 60s.
Can you believe
Think
that?
about that. That's impossible.
That is impossible.
Meanwhile, the SEC
Was that tweet correct?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Because they played Louisville played them early on,
and they weren't ranked.
Yeah,
at
that's not. I like Stormy's pick at 11. Getting Michigan State. The other thing, straighten me out.
Who did Stormy get?
Michigan State at 11, good price, but could be probably a 2 seed. So this is going on right when Alabama's beating Auburn.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that factors. I was surprised Auburn went 3rd. But you think at the time, hey, they just went into Auburn.
No.
And Alabama goes 3rd, and they just beat Auburn as well. So, and then Von Tobel grabs Auburn at 5. That people maybe didn't think there was value, and it only plus 340, even though they're going to get a 1 seed. So, this is great what happened, and the mystery about who you get. I love the Texas Tech pick at 4. Love it.
Yep.
Good job. He gets Texas Tech at 4 at 30-1 for what? How much? 4,000? What was it?
No, way
9,000.
9,000. Excuse me, 9,000. And it looks like they're going to be a 2 seed as well.
I met him from Florida, and we were going back and forth with potential picks because he finished behind me. And I actually kicked around the idea of taking Clemson number 2 overall because their metrics are awesome. They're top 21, both offense and defense, and that's what you basically need at KenPom to win the national title. Also, that ticket, number 2 hole, would have paid $990,000. You can do a lot with that kind of a ticket, right?
Sure can.
But there's also a lot of hedging involved at that point. So I considered going bomb at number 2, and Josh told me the whole time, he goes, I love that thinking. I'm going to go bomb. He's like, I'm not taking Auburn number 4 overall if they're available. And he told me a couple other teams, and he goes, what do you think about Texas Tech? I'm like, how do you not like them?
Yep.
I like his strategy. He passed on the short price of Auburn, and he went with a bomb. He's there to make a score, so why not? I mean, you only get X amount of chances to make scores in these things, so I like his strategy.
Yep. How about the 4 teams that are already in the tournament? What do you think? 3 of them for the first time ever. High Point, great story. SIUE, Omaha, the trash can celebration, right? And Drake.
I took 8 with Winthrop.
Oh, so did I. Can you believe that, too?
15 minutes to go. They're up 15.
Yeah.
Getting 8 on a neutral. And Winthrop's not chopped liver, and these teams know each other well. It's impossible to blow that bet.
Yep.
Yet, we did it.
I know.
It's March.
I couldn't take it. I had UNLV Friday. It's a 1-point game with 6 minutes.
UNLV. I'm still shaking my head over that game.
Oh, my God. I love this guy on Twitter. Oh, you should know this. It happens every March. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Not like this. To lose bam, bam, bam like that in less than 24 hours. And then Drake gets in there, too. 30-3. Good for them. I know they were down big at the half against Belmont. But your thoughts on Drake, and also the last 10 games in the Valley went under.
Isn't that amazing? The first one went over by a million, and then the Arch Madness under train came in. But I really was hoping Bradley would win just to see if Drake got the at-large. Just to see, just the intriguing part. I really think they would have.
You do?
I do. But I
don't.
I wanted to see it play a little. It's just something to look forward to on Selection Sunday.
Sure. No, that's fair.
But a great story. I mean, what a
Oh, God. Can you believe that? It's all Division II players.
They had a whole new team.
Yeah.
Well,
New
in
coach,
Division
new
II.
team, new program.
Right.
They had no chance, and yet they not only that, but they dominated the Missouri Valley.
I give Mike Palm credit. He was on that early. November.
I'd love to see him win a game in the tournament.
that'd
I
be
really
awesome.
would. That would be.
Yeah. The fan base was livid. They're like, what are we doing? We're hiring a D2 coach, and 7 of our 9 top players that never played Division I before.
I'll put you on the spot real
quick. They
quick.
win 30 games.
What's the kind of team that you would like to see them against in their first round matchup to give them like the best chance to win?
A high-scoring flying team.
There you go.
Like an Alabama, to teams that go up and down. Let this disciplined little Missouri Valley team do that. That's the type of team I'd like to see him against. A team that gets up and down the court.
Yeah, because they would probably dictate what's going to happen in that game.
I think so. And I mean, let's face it, whoever they're going to play is going to be an interesting matchup. And every time Drake scores, the place will be going crazy in here.
For sure. Oh, those bets that you guys are going to offer, first to 10, first to 15, first to 20, are unbelievable experiences when you're at a Las Vegas sportsbook or a conference room or wherever you might be. Yeah,
no, the tournament's I think the first 4 days beats the Super Bowl. Everyone has their own preference, but there's no other sporting event than the first 4 days of March Madness, if you ask me.
So you guys see a lot of sharp money here, going back to the Valley for 1 second. And those 10 games going under. And everybody knows about this angle, right? Did you guys get buried on those games or no?
No, we didn't get buried on them. We move them fast, and totals we don't mess around with. So we try to get a little two-way, but if you get too big of a decision, you just move it a little farther and try to level it out. But, I mean, it's crazy how that works out every year in St. Louis. I mean, I guess the teams just know each other so well, and they're just playing for their life. They know it's a one big league, and they just play so tough on the defensive court, and they know each other's tendencies and plays and schemes. So I guess it equates to a lot of unders, regardless of the big adjustments.
Yeah, one of the games moved 12 points. Is there a decision that will hurt you here? You talked off air about Navy, who's in the title game of the Patriot League. Is there someone who came in and made a large bet on any conference tournaments, or anyone that wins it that's a bad result?
Not really. Conference tournaments don't get bet all that much. We do have a little liability with Navy and the Patriot. All conferences are great to me, but that is a pretty good final, isn't it? Navy has a high as 20-1, so we lose a little with Navy, but they got to play at American's home court. So American U, if they get in, it'll be, it's going to be one and done for one of those two teams, because I think the Patriots down a little this year. But got a couple finals going tonight. So,
do you have an opinion on any of those games or any games on the board tonight?
I do. What is the tournament game tonight? What is it? Wofford and Furman?
So, it's the 1, 2, 3, and 4 all lost.
Yeah. That's right.
It's a 6 against a 5 in the title game.
Yeah, we opened Furman pick, and it got bet up to 1.5. I liked Furman minus pick. So the Paladins and the Terriers going at it.
There you go. And this is a good one in the Sun Belt. There was a 4-way tie. Arkansas State.
Really good
favorite
one.
to get. Arkansas State buried Memphis earlier in the year.
I like the dog in this one. We opened Ark State 1.5. It's up to 2.5. So I bought up to 3 on Troy, the Trojans. So I like Troy and Furman in those two games.
Troy buried James Madison. It was never a game. They won by 19 in that spot, and James Madison had to bye into the semifinals. We'll continue here with Nick Bogdanovich up next. We'll get his thoughts on power conferences up next. Can he make a case for any team with at least double-digit odds in some of the big boys? We'll ask him coming up here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More college basketball here. Sports Gambling Hall of Famer, longtime Vegas oddsmaker. He's working his ass off this time of year at Circa Sports. Nick Bogdanovich in studio here. The Big East, the first odds that I noticed here at Circa, St. John's plus 160, Creighton plus 380, then it goes up to UConn at 4-1, Marquette plus 650 as well. Did you get any action quickly on the Big East today?
Yeah, we took a sharp bet on UConn plus 450. So
okay, to move it down then.
Out of 4-1. So they believe that Hurley's going to hit that magic button and UConn will flip a switch. I don't know if that's true. I mean, we're in pretty good shape with UConn, so I wouldn't mind seeing them make a deep run, grab some liquid out of them. But I don't see it. I think they're just, they had 2 magical runs, and it's a rebuilding and a regrouping year, though. St. John's, we took another bet on St. John's. We got pretty good liability with St. John's. Right before I walked over here, someone took 25-1 for, I think it was 3,000. So we're just stacking up some more St. John's liability. So we got them down to 20-1. But Ricky P's got a live team this year. So
how live in your opinion?
I think a lot of things will have to go right for them to win it, but it's possible. I think they're going to need a few good matchups along the way, but someone trying to beat them is going to have a hard task doing it. But I think they are one of the teams that can win it. That's for sure.
Who do you want to fade? Who's leaking oil? Michigan looks like one of them.
Michigan is.
I want nothing to do with them.
What is going on there?
It's ugly.
I think I just went through the futures before I came over here. I raised them to like 125-1. There was talk early on of them being a 2 or 3 seed. Now they're spiraling out of control, and their in-state rival is rocketing up the board. Michigan State just playing lights out. I mean, Michigan State gave them a thorough beating yesterday.
Are they one of the teams that can win it?
I didn't think so at one point, and I still got a bunch of teams over them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got them in the group of 5 or 6 people in the 7th hole. So I got like 6 teams ahead of them. So yeah, they certainly can win it. I don't think they will.
How about a team in that conference that bottomed out already, but now they're back on the uptick? They had all those injuries, the illness is out of the way it appears. Illinois.
There's money. We've been taking some Illinois money. We got a little liability with Illinois. Very dangerous team. I like Underwood as a coach. So. They're one of those teams that I'd like to see Drake play. They fly up and down if they win, they're going to score 80, 85. So that would be a nice little Midwestern regional battle, Drake versus Illinois. That would be a good one.
That was another doozy. Purdue led with less than 2 minutes, catching 4.5, 5.
That was unbelievable.
It wouldn't
88-80. There was a ton of money for Illinois in that game.
Oh.
And Purdue was up 5 with like 2 to go, and I said, well, we're going to win that one. And then I went and got a sandwich and came back, and it was 88-80. I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah, it's like Indiana, Oregon from last week.
Yeah, college basketball. Don't count your ticket as a winner until the final horn blows. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right, tonight. So walk me through this as a Hall of Famer and a bookmaker. It's Mitch teased it. It's unfortunate with the point spreads out here. Pepperdine, 12 seed? I don't know. They're down 14. I had this too. They're down 14 with 12 minutes left against Portland. I just have to win the game. Pepperdine comes back to beat them. Oh. Okay, now they're 10.5-point dogs and beat Oregon State. Now they're catching 15.5 last night and win that game.
They were 10-1 in the money line last night.
So now what do you do? Because St. Mary's doesn't get up and down, even though they're a good team. But how high can you make it? Because it's still St. Mary's, and yet Pepperdine's hot, but they were just catching 15.5 against Santa Clara.
Incredible. The way the West Coast tournament is designed, this team could actually play 5 games in 5 nights. And like you said, they're in the semifinals of the tournament, and they're 225-1 to win it all. Wrap your head around that. There's only 4 teams left, and they're 225-1 to win the conference tournament.
What was the number before it started?
It was high.
10,000-1?
Yeah, it was 500 or 600-1. But I mean, they some guy had him last night. 2,000 at 925 to 1. So he won 18.5. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Good for him. So,
wow.
Yeah. Getting hot at the right time.
Well, okay, what's the money line if they win tonight and they play Gonzaga?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. It's going to be...
Yeah, Gonzaga covers. Let's say Gonzaga
It's going to be a touch higher than it is tonight. I mean...
Oh, God.
Because, I mean, can you imagine playing your 5th game in 5 nights against Gonzaga for all the marbles? But...
It'd be a 20-point dog.
They're going to be a 20-point
Well,
dog.
this would be one of the... Honestly, like, with the numbers involved here, Pepperdine winning the West Coast would be one of the biggest upsets of all time.
All time.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah. Correct.
And then what do you make of Gonzaga laying this many points tonight?
Too much.
Frisco's missing their second leading scorer, which really hurts. That Marcus Williams kid's got suspended for some reason, but that really, really hurts them. But everyone thinks Gonzaga can flip the switch too. I'm not so sure of that. I mean, they've been horrible against the point spread all game, and I know their A game's still a pretty good A game, but they don't bring it all that often.
True. Yep. Absolutely. How about in the Horizon League? Oakland plays Bob Morris, and Youngstown State takes on Cleveland State. Oakland surprised Milwaukee. Morris disrespected 1 seed. I think opened 2 up to 3.5.
It did. Cleveland State, I leaned Cleveland State -2. And that should be a good game. I mean, it's always a great conference. I mean, I really like the Horizon. Seen some really good teams come out of there. So, but I lean Cleveland State in that one.
And last year, Oakland beat Kentucky in the first round. Bobby Morris is 24-8 overall.
I know.
Great
Oakland
story.
Yeah,
16-17.
come
you
on.
believe that? Bobby
Come on.
Morris won the Horizon.
Yeah. Well, this is the joke, the game that starts the day. Delaware's a 12 seed. Here's a team that could play, I think, 6 games. It's something crazy. Delaware's a 12 seed. They won 5 games in the conference. And if they beat Towson, who was the 1 seed, they're in the championship game.
Yeah, Towson drew a little money this morning. We opened, I think, Towson 6. They laid it some sharp money. We went up to 6.5. So
I hope they're
a little
right.
money for Towson.
Oh, that'd be great. I hope they're right. As I understand it, Towson fans are excited. I don't think they've ever been in the tournament, but they're turning out, making the short trip, and seeing if they can go to the big dance. And you got Wilmington getting money. Charleston off a late game that went to overtime.
Wilmington's drawing sharp money. In fact, we take in to win the conference tournament.
They were a favorite, yeah.
They keep betting them. I mean, I think
really?
it took 2 to 1, $1.80, $1.60, and now someone took $1.50 before I came over here. So everyone thinks Wilmington is going to win this tournament. So.
All right, power conferences beyond the Big East. Then anything that caught your eye, a number that you would have interest in betting, or like sharp action early in any of these tournaments?
Quite a bit of sharp money when we opened it today. I mean. Name a conference. I'll tell you a team they bet.
Let's go Big 12. Houston plus 110, Texas Tech 4-1, Iowa State, Arizona, Kansas, BYU.
They took Houston plus $1.10. It was a sharp person too, so they think their power rating has Houston minus money to win the tournament. So we took a decent bet on Houston plus a dime to win the Big 12.
Okay. How about the A10? VCU at even money. They just lost to Dayton.
Oh, it was a bad loss. Costly
That's
loss.
a bad loss. Wow.
Oh,
I mean,
did not see that coming.
No. I think we opened plus $1.05 and took a little money. I wouldn't categorize it as sharp, but drove us down to even money. So they think VCU is going to bounce back from that loss, and they probably will. Team's got a lot of character.
I hope you're right. Who do you like out here? This is going to be nuts in the Mountain West.
This one's a really, really good tournament to book because 5 or 6 teams can win this one.
I agree,
so,
including the local team.
It's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. Someone needs to make a deep run to either cement or steal a bid. So, that we didn't take any major bets on that one yet, but I think we'll have, of all the conferences to book, that one's a really good one to book.
Tell people what's the story on. Sorry, Mitch. Who's the story on ESPN.com that Dave Purdom did about all these bookmakers in the dinner Roxy Roxborough does every year, and as Vinny Meatball said, over 500 years of experience in the room.
Rox, who's the leader of our industry, he has a little get together each time about that year. Invites some old time bookmakers, and it's turned into a pretty good tradition now. So, but Purdom was at the last one, and he wrote an article on it. It's on ESPN. So, a lot of good times, good stories, and Rox was a generous host, and just a bunch of old Vegas bookmakers get together and have some good food and some good dialogue.
Where's the go-to spot for you guys when you get together? Is there a restaurant that is like hit up more times than any other spot?
No, I don't think so. That's the thing about Vegas. They got more good restaurants than any city in America. I mean, there's so many good restaurants in this town. It's crazy how spoiled we are.
When's the last time you were at Piero's?
Not that long ago. About a month ago.
That chicken parm is the size of this desk.
Yeah, it's a big one. I had the veal parm. It's just as big.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you ask to sit where De Niro was? The movie?
I did not. No. I went there last year around this time.
Did that? Great move.
Yeah.
All right, eliminate all the fake handicappers who are pitching fake records. Juice Reel bringing transparency to the picks marketplace. All betting accounts are synced. Betting history directly from the books. No hiding the bad records. It ranks every bettor based on their actual record. And sharps can get paid when others follow their picks. Check it out for yourself. Download the Juice Reel app. Promo code Let's Go. Get $25 in free app currency. You can check out the best handicappers on Juice Reel and what they're betting. Download it now. Get it REEL Juice Reel. Download Juice Reel today. Promo code Let's Go.
Thanks, Nick.
My pleasure, guys. Good luck this week, everyone. And as we discussed many times during this segment, you're going to need it.
No kidding. Back at you, and stay sane.
Oh, I will do that.
Pauly told me all-time weekend of bad beats coming up next.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, 4 teams are already dancing. SIUE. First time ever. Great story. Edwardsville beats SEMO Saturday night to win the OVC plus 270. Omaha, the 1 seed, disrespected, plus 450, wins the Summit League. They already knew before the game last night they were in because their opponent was St. Thomas and they weren't eligible. And they came out and spanked them anyways.
I was happy with myself last night showing some willpower and discipline, and I did not go for the angle of it's already wrapped up, they have nothing to play for, so I have to bet St. Thomas here. I did not fall for that.
All right.
And I was glad right away I didn't because typically that would have been a great angle to play St. Thomas.
Yep. And now we'll see. You'll hear a lot about the trash can celebration with Omaha.
Be careful with that, by the way. The kids are taking they're like coming off the top rope
I know.
onto the concrete almost or whatever.
The kid's jumping off the soda machine.
Yes.
That's a long way down.
Landing basically on his ankles, and then he puts the elbow down in the trash can. Careful, fellas.
You're asking for trouble. I'm with you. Drake, 30-3. Brought in the coach from with Southwest Missouri State, I think. They won 4 titles in Division II and brought 4 players with them, starters, 30-3. Doesn't matter what the name says on the jersey. Doesn't matter where you play, what conference. Great job by Drake.
So you love the Drake?
Love the Drake. Missouri Valley, 10 straight unders. The only over was the first game of the tournament. Multiple games moved 4 and 5 points. One moved 11, 12 points. Still, these games went under. Incredible. What was that from Wisconsin? Penn State plus 575 on a money line. Scored 51 second-half points on the road.
I know they were down one of their key players, but that's still unacceptable.
Pepperdine plus 450, then followed up with 10-1 last night. Kentucky plus 210. Bama plus 280. Oklahoma 2-1. Abilene Christian plus 260. VMI plus 450. St. Francis of Pennsylvania. They're in the championship game of the Northeast. Long Island was up 15 at home and blew it. Plus 250. Iowa 3-1. Tulsa 6-1. Friday night, madness. Northern Illinois plus 950. Dayton shocked VCU plus 420. Colorado State won at Boise plus 230.
That might be your winner right there in the Mountain West.
Maybe. They're hot. North Dakota plus 320. Kid scored 51 points. Valpo plus 375. Old Dominion plus 330. UFC 313. Bahamondes submission 13-1. To win round 1, 5-1. Ferreira submission 9-1. To win in round 2, 7-1. EPL, Nottingham Forest shutout Man City, plus 280. Aston Villa, plus 225. Shelley the Machine Levine, get Indy Jeff on the board. Indy Jeff Seeley calls it Russell Henley, 45-1. He wins in a great tournament and a great chip-in to take the lead and hold off Morikawa in the Arnold Palmer.
That was a great tournament. I love it, by the way, that 11 under won the whole thing.
Yeah, well said.
And nobody was trending to ever get like 16, 18, 20 under. That was great.
Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, 40-1.
What?
Yep.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Was that at DraftKings?
Couple books, yeah.
Oh, my God. I did not know that.
Adams to the Rams, 20-1. DK Metcalf to the Steelers, 10-1. Well, it makes sense. I mean, you had to trade Geno first of all.
Okay, yeah.
So there were rumblings, but yeah. Metcalf, 10-1. Adams, 20. Darnold, 40. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com. Radio and podcast friends. I'll put these up at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. And thanks to everyone. You know who you are. Tammy, Ann, all the crew that send them in on a daily basis. You ever see a dog play patty cake?
I do now.
Look at the French Bulldog here. Yeah, put it up, baby. He's got it. Going the whole way playing patty cake. He's awesome. Good-looking pup. That's excellent. The little fella. And this is a good one with the boxer. Upset if they're fighting. And he blocks the doggy door so the other guy can't get out. But hey, you pissed me off. No way. And he's sticking his caboose up and blocking the door, and the dog's trying to get out. Hey, come on. I have to go. Let me out. Like, no, can't do it. What a smart dog to do that. I've had enough of your bleep. You ticked me off. I'm gonna block the door so you can't get out.
So that happens. We have 2 dogs. Mickey is like 10, 11 pounds. She'll go outside when it's nice out and be pretty much maybe out the door by a couple more inches. Frankie, who's like 25, 20, doesn't care. He'll go flying and jump through the door right over her. Sometimes he'll hit her, and then they fight each other for the next 10 seconds.
Not bad. Not bad. Yep. One lose some. Blazers. It opened 15, closed 2, because OKC said, everyone, you couldn't even win the bet if you took the 15. It was a tight game, too.
It was a loser for me.
Yeah, OKC by 18.
I have more on that, by the way. That should be a strong indication for the MVP at the end of the year.
That's fair. That's fair. How about a lose some video? I think it's a walrus. Imagine this. You're just hanging out. Oh, what a view. See the lake. Oh, the big fella.
Holy smokes.
Where did he come from?
Oh,
Cannonball.
my God.
We got it all here, right? The sneak attack. Like, where did he come from, right? How much does this guy weigh? And then he just does the cannonball into the water. It's like, you need a diaper. You see this guy coming. He's like, he's coming right at me. Oh, okay. He takes a left turn. He jumps right in the water. It's like, I don't even know what that is. What was he doing?
It's like a drunk friend who's going to jump off like a 20-foot bridge. Yeah. No problem. Like, this guy has no care in the world. Yeah. Face first, Peter Pan.
About 3,000 pounds just coming in, right? Getting a workout with the knife and fork, and they come in. Whoa! Steamroll! And it says the cannonball right in. That's incredible. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Lou Finicaro coming on to recap this horrible beat as Lou gave out Marshall. So Marshall by decision was 4-1. His opponent was 13-1 in play to win the fight. And then it goes to decision because you're still like, okay, well, maybe you could catch him with a lunky punch, whatever. But then they go to decision and they give it to Santos.
And so it was 13-1 on him in the final round.
Yes.
He's getting, clearly
Destroyed.
Everybody knows.
Right.
That he's losing the fight big time, and nothing significant happened in the final round.
Yep.
And if you had Marshall like Lou did and he tipped out, you're an unfortunate loser. That's absolutely horrible.
Immediately. You know immediately from the announcers and the crowd when they announced the decision. The first guy had it 30-27 for Marshall. The other two had it 29-28 for Santos. And people who cover the sport said it's the worst in 10 years, maybe ever.
I believe, and Lou will have more on this coming up in the second hour of today's show. What was it? All 13 people in the media?
Yes.
Scored it for Marshall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Winthrop yesterday, plus 7.5, plus 8 like Nick had, up 14 with 16 minutes left. Nope, you lose. Arkansas State laying 3.5. They're up 6 with 5 seconds. 4, 6, 5, 4, 3. Their opponent hits a 3. They foul. Arkansas State misses both free throws. Win by 3. Saturday, North Carolina plus 11.5. Head the lead with 10 minutes left. They couldn't cover. West Virginia laying 7.5. Led by 27. Couldn't cover. Friday night, UNLV plus 12.5. Down 1 with 6 minutes. Couldn't cover. Purdue plus 4.5, 5. Led with under 2 minutes. Couldn't cover. It didn't go to overtime. Friday in the NBA, the Suns plus 7.5 or 6.5. This is the all-time great game by Joker. Durant hit a 3 at the buzzer. They go to overtime. They lose by 8. Last night, Kings and under. They led the Clippers by 7 with 90 seconds. They blew it. They lost in overtime. Kings money line and the under, you lose. Hockey, I had this. Utah, Chicago, first period over. Utah scores 50 seconds into the game. Nothing the rest of the way.
Oh, boy.
Jets, Carolina, under 5.5 last night. 3 goals in the last 3 minutes.
Killer.
To put it over.
I honestly, I'm trying in my head and following this over the weekend, I don't know which one was worse. The Winthrop thing that might take the cake. Although you can come right back at me and say North Carolina.
Yeah. In a game you have to have.
Yeah. At home.
Purdue's bad, too. What were they, up 4?
Yeah.
I think they're up 4 with less than 2 minutes. It doesn't go to overtime and you can't cover 5?
Yeah.
Give me a break. And the UNLV one capped it off, too. 1 point game with 6 minutes, kitchen 12.5. Nope, no good. Take your betting to the next level with First Bet. Whether it's Santa Anita, Gulfstream, or the road to the Derby, First Bet puts the action at your fingertips. Sign up now, firstbet.com, promo code VSIN200. Get a 20% rebate on all your wagers for the first 60 days. Up to $200. Bet smarter today, firstbet.com.
That is going to happen this week, and no doubt it'll happen next week, where there's going to be a horrific beat or more, and these books across Las Vegas and across the country, wherever you might be, conference rooms, whatever, going to be littered with people who have the other side, and you're going to hear groans from 500 feet away. It's inevitable. It's what happens. So we got a good email, by the way. I'm going to read this a little bit later on. We've been telling the audience here on this show for years that this week is actually better than next week. And I think this details it beautifully. Just more games and a lot cheaper. So, and everything, by the way, is free at vsin.com right now. Go to vsin.com/champ week. That goes all the way until Selection Sunday. And you had how many of those beats?
Several of them. I had North Carolina. I had UNLV. I had the hockey game. God.
And you had Winthrop. Oh.
I also bet a money line. They were up. I know High Point was a good team, and they ran through that lead. But they were up 14 with 15 minutes left. They were only like 250 on the money line in play.
Yeah.
And then I think the guy sat his best player. And then they went on the sick run without him.
Action-packed day one NFL free agency. We'll recap what's happened so far next.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.